Hey guys, my name is Justin, and about 3 weeks back, I released an album on Spotify called Open Waters. And in this video, I'll be breaking down some of the things that I put in to make the song the way it is, how I wrote the song, some of the elements. So I'm showing you a little bit of behind the scenes, what did I do to make the track the way it did. And yeah, if you are interested in more of my music, you can check the link down below. It will lead you to my Spotify. And yeah, if you like this video, you can just click like at the bottom and let's get started.
Oh, I got you down on your knees, and I want it even closer, and I'm begging you, please. Whoa.
Alright, so this is the working file for memory, and the song starts off with this ambient vinyl cracking sound because I felt it sounded nice in the context of the sound. And this keyboard that comes in awfully reminds me of when I was 6 years old. My parents sent me to this Yamaha school, and this keyboard that I played on sounds very identical, so it kind of is a bit nostalgic for me. So it's kind of just self-serving in a way. And
Said your clothes match my carpet, and the scratches on my back and head.
the bass comes in.
Damn, what did it feel?
So this bass comes in with this light little kick at the back, just to give it a little bit of depth of field, I guess.
Now, but I can't wait to.
And this is where things starts building up with
The
this
smile in your eyes, they give you
this synth bass at the back.
with the same set of makeup on since yesterday. And I know you
so
love
it
it when
starts
you
to build
grab a
up.
hold
That's
on
basically the
me,
backbone.
but
It
the
starts to build
thought
up
of
to
you's
like
been
the
messing
main
with
core,
my
and it's the
memory.
bass line.
Oh, I got you down on your knees, and I want it even closer, and I'm begging you, please.
Yeah, so this bass line, like so a lot of people hit me up after they heard this song because they're like, dude, that bass line, like the highlight is the bass line. And not gonna lie, this song was built because I wanted to get that bass line in. I was inspired by Charlie Puth's Attention, Dua Lipa's Don't Start Now, stuff like that really has a really heavy bass line to like bring forward the song. So that's exactly what I wanted, and hey, it worked. And how I got this bass effect to go, it's actually recorded on an acoustic bass, like a Fender acoustic bass, just to kind of like, because there's something about the tension of the strings that made it sound so much aggressive and more grittier than a regular electric bass. So I recorded on 2 channels. So the first one is this one, and it's recorded through the direct input, like you plug it in. And this is basically recorded on this mic. So I added these two different channels, hard pan them left and right. So that's why you have a little bit of like an out of body kind of experience when both of them comes in. And with percussion, with the kick, and with this particular like vibe, it feels like you're walking into really dark, dingy pub. And yeah, that's the feel that I want to go for. So I'm glad that it turned out this way, because I guess this is the main highlight of the song, which is the bass line. Yeah, then after the chorus, it goes back into the middle field of the bass. I put it in the mid.
Trickling down my spine, I can feel you calling every time. Hands on my body.
So wanted to add those like little hi-hats to give a little bit more texture to the song.
Smile in your eyes,
Then
they
things
give you
start getting a little bit fuller.
The same set of makeup on since yesterday. And I know you love it when you grab a hold on me, but the thought of you's been messing with
And
my
then second
memory. Oh, I got you down on your knees, and I want it even closer, and I'm begging you, please.
So my personal opinion of how a song should be built is every chorus has to be different one way or another to the previous chorus. So in the first chorus, it's kind of like really light, and the second chorus is kind of like built on. What the second chorus has on top of the first chorus can be split down into, like, I would say four main things. The first main thing is addition of more vocals. So if I solo out the second chorus vocals, there's a lot more harmonies. Compared to the first chorus, it's just. So that's the first difference you can hear. The second difference you can hear is basically this addition of more of a drum kick here. So compared to literally the first chorus is just that. Alright, so that's the second thing that I added. The third thing I added is this entire guitar section, which has this funk line back at it. So this guitar is with this and this rhythm strum. So I want to make it like kind of like a little bit of loose feeling, a little bit funk. So to give the rhythm, I also just add in just a layer just to make it sound a little bit fuller. So tiny things like that will add up to something bigger. And then the third thing that I want to highlight out is an addition of instruments, which is this saxophone right here. So that's where everything comes about, and this is. And then the breakdown. Down, you can hear there's a lot more things going on. So for the guitar, I added in this acoustic guitar just to like give it a little bit of oomph to it, so you kind of just drive the song forward a little bit more on top of everything else that's going on. Yeah, so when it goes down, the difference between this and the first part was the keys is backed up by the synth bass that you heard earlier, and this how it makes it sound much fuller. And then third chorus. Alright, so the third chorus, again, it's built up compared to the second chorus, but the third chorus, just one thing to highlight is the percussions, man. So this is the drum line. So the drum line, okay, it's basically written during quarantine. I wrote this song called Until I Die. That's the first track that was written for this album. It was a rushed job, so the drum kit was just kind of straightforward. I kind of the initial idea of this track was kind of basic. It's just like 4 on the floor, which was a bit boring. So when I got my friend Vincent to via Zoom call and showed him what I was doing, he was kind of bored. He was like, "Why don't you add this? Why don't you add that? I heard your previous song. Why don't you put a drum line here?" And we added a few things. We took down a few things, and he helped with the fills. But basically, the skeleton of how the drum line is basically from Until I Die, but with the addition of some rolls here. Yeah, so roles like that are kind of like what Vincent brought to the table. Something that I want to highlight as well is that the track, like the snare, is actually like I couldn't get the tone that I wanted, so I just layered a few instruments on each other. So the snare, how the snare came about is basically a mix of a few things. So it starts off with this this really dry snare, and then I added with the snaps, finger snaps, to have it like a little bit more of a tail, like an audio tail. Then with the drum line, this where the snare sounds different, and the kick is really empty. So this where this additional kick gives the low end of the thump to the track. Yeah. So with all of this going on, it's really just like everything came about really easy. Yeah. So the vocals, it's even bigger. Even the guitar, there's a lot more power chords in the final chorus just to get it up there, a little bit more energy with the saxophones. right, so that was Memory. So yeah, I hope you guys really find this breakdown a little bit interesting. I hope you guys uh, learn a little bit of how I write tracks. And if this helped you, if you're a songwriter, if this helped you get some ideas on how you're gonna approach your next track, then it'll be great if you leave a like on this video. Yeah, and I plan to release a few more videos to show you how I write my other songs off the album. Yeah, so if it'll mean a lot if you subscribe. And I'll put in the links to my Spotify down in the description below. So if you are interested in more of this, you can just check me out. And yeah, hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks, guys.